Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cash Tactics pay-per-click case study. Today we're going over part 5, which will mostly be an update and to just answer a couple questions that I noticed on the blog or in the forum. I'd also like to reveal to you the tool that I mentioned in part 4 on last Friday's video and kind of give you an idea of how we're implementing that into the case study and see what it can do for us. There was a small minor delay in launching the campaign today, so I've rescheduled to have the campaign launch tomorrow, Tuesday. And we're also going to set the daily campaign budget at $25 a day. So by the end of the day on Friday, we should have fulfilled our entire budget of $100 for this particular case study. So either late Friday evening or Saturday, I can have an updated video giving you the results and some of the pros and cons that we come across throughout the campaign, and also what we can do for improvement and how you take that information you've gathered and continue optimizing for the future until you build a profitable campaign. So jumping right in today, I'm on the Cash Tactics website at the moment. Don't forget the contest. For those of you who are already in the lead, congratulations. But it's still very new. We're only 3 days into the month, so definitely jump on board there. You can win a lot of options for prizes and cash. So let's go ahead and click onto the forum really quickly. And I noticed a couple questions down here. Let's see here. Alright, here we go. And just a reminder, this is the benefit of joining the forum. It's a subscription-based forum, so you must subscribe to access the content, but it's completely free, so I highly recommend it. And you're getting access to a lot of this different information that's been posted here, so there's a lot of questions that have already been answered. And you also have the ability to ask your own questions, and when we get the opportunity, we'll take the time to answer it for you specifically. So please join if you haven't done so already. Ryan B., he asked a question: what rules do you use to set your initial CPC? Do you base it on EPC or something else? That's a good question, and something that is not a huge difference of what you initially set your CPC at, but you do need to have an approach that you take with that. What I typically do is I typically use the Google AdWords tool that I showed you earlier, the external tool, and you're able to get an estimate on the CPCs in positions 1 through 3. So what I'll typically do is I'll typically set it right around there, right around the estimated part. So if I see like my main keyword is going to be acai berry, so maybe the estimated CPC for positions 1 through 3 will be like $1.50, $2, something like that. Well, what I'll do is I'll probably set it towards the lower end, maybe $1.25, $1.50 range. Let it run for the first day and kind of get an idea of what position most of my keywords are showing up in. And then I'll also show you a tip that I've learned from another fellow blogger and internet marketer of what he uses in his strategy into putting your ads in the right position for getting an equal amount of opportunity for each keyword to make a conversion for you. So that's something I'll share with you probably in the next video when we do the optimizing. That way we have a little bit of data that I can work with. So I don't really have any specific method. That's probably just the best thing that I do. I don't usually base it upon EPC because your EPCs can be a little distorted, even if it's specifically for search EPCs. Because if someone's using a landing page, then they're sending traffic straight to that landing page, and then whoever's clicking through to the landing page to the offer, that's how many clicks the actual network's going to be able to record. So if you send 100 people to your landing page and say 20 people click through, that means 20 are going to be recorded by your affiliate network, and then say only one person or 2 people, for example, convert. That means there's only a 10%. That's a 10% conversion, which is kind of high, versus when you look at that, those 2 people converting out of all the 100 clicks that you just sent. So that's a 2% conversion rate if you look at it in that sense. So EPCs can be a little bit distorted sometimes, so I don't base my estimated CPCs on that necessarily. But I do pull that information just to kind of get an idea of stuff, so I do use the information. The next question I noticed right around here says, sometimes campaigns need to be split up into multiple campaigns if the niche is larger. and there are sub-niches. Do you ever segregate into multiple campaigns, and how do you determine what theme each campaign should contain? That's also a good question, and that's a very valid point you're making there. Um, Especially when you get into the more broad niches, the bigger, larger campaigns such as health-related products, ringtones, stuff like that. There are a lot of different sub-niches within those that you can break into. Yes, I do split my campaigns up sometimes into different themes. It just depends. Like, for example, I'd have to have a very large keyword list that I've acquired, and there have to be quite a few hundred, um, preferably 500 plus keywords around a specific theme before I actually go ahead and independently group those together and stick them in their own campaign. Now, if I notice when I launch a campaign and say I did not separate them into multiple campaigns and I just have maybe a couple thousand keywords, if I'm noticing that a handful of my keywords around a certain theme are performing well, I will move them into their own campaign, expand on them, and then optimize specifically a certain landing page around those key phrases. That way I can increase my quality score. Um, and identifying the different keywords, it's really just going to have to be, you can use Excel. So if you have like a list of 5,000 keywords, and for example, it's going to be around, say we're like the keyword or the campaign that we're doing now for the